So a Kabuki drop is where we have a drape system that drops from the air down to the floor. So the way a Kabuki drop's set up is that we have to have some rigging overhead in the venue. In the case of this particular venue here, we've got some trussing up overhead, which is lifted into the air with motors. The Kabuki system is a series of solenoids which are electrically controlled. And what they do is they release clips on a drape so that at a point in the show where we want it to, drape drops to the floor instantaneously. The client wanted to create a quite dynamic event space. So we did that by putting in two Kabuki drapes, which are being rigged right now. One separates the venue in two, and the other one wraps around the stage. The one around the stage is up when the guests walk in, and when the show starts, it drops to the floor, revealing the presenter. At the end of the show, the main drape separating the venue then drops to the floor, and it opens up the whole space so the guests can use the whole event space for the after party and dinner afterwards. There's some important safety considerations as well, because this drape is falling from the roof. We generally use a really lightweight fabric. It's so light, in fact, that if it were to fall on someone, it wouldn't be a problem. But also, the fabric doesn't have any ties or heavy elements to it. It's literally fabric that's attached to plastic clips. So when it does fall, if it did hit someone, it wouldn't hurt them at all. The fabric we use tends to be quite lightweight, so that crew can pick it up and take it away very, very quickly, so we can convert the event space back to being a functioning event space without any kind of trip hazard on the floor. The downside to a Kabuki system is that when it falls to the floor, we have a drape on the floor that has to be got rid of. Now that's normally okay if we've got some stagehands on site, but if we were doing an event where guests had to walk through it instantaneously, it might not be an appropriate system. So if we want a different way of being able to reveal an event space, there's a few different options we've got. The first one is what we call a reefer drape. That's where the drape hangs and has a series of ropes that run through it, and it lifts the drape up into the air. If you imagine how blinds on a window work, the ones that run horizontally and lifts up, it works in the same fashion as that. Now that's great because it can lift up into the air and be out of the way and gone, but they tend to be a bit slower and not as dramatic as a Kabuki drop. The other method we've got is using traditional theatre drapes. So if you imagine a theatre stage where the drapes open up like this, that's another way that we can reveal an event space or a product or a presenter.